It's Wednesday, the 4th of September, and you're watching the new month's first installment of Primetime News. And for the next 20-odd minutes, I will be bringing you up-to-date headlines shaping the Namibian continental and global narratives. Many thanks for having me. I'm Michael Madimba. As day 2 of the Global African Hydrogen Summit, currently underway in the capital Windhoek, and the summit headlines tonight's bulletin. Vice President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah emphasized Namibia's role in advancing green hydrogen and industrialization. Nandi-Ndaitwah was speaking at the official opening of the inaugural Global African Hydrogen Summit in the capital earlier this morning.
Namibia offers a rich and welcome environment that is well suited to host an impactful green industrialization ecosystem. To give you what I'm saying, Namibia has reached the post of the mineral required to build green industries, such as critical rare earth elements and lithium. We also help our Zambian neighbors trade their copper, a key ingredient for sustainable industries with global market. We have some of the best wind and solar resources in the region, closer to a well-developed port and rail infrastructures, and we have plans to expand those infrastructures to facilitate even a broader trade in low-carbon goods between our regional neighbors and the global customers. Last, we have the space, a progressive immigration system, and a young and developing workforce, which makes Namibia an ideal location to host some of the new and emerging industries. In a nutshell, Namibia is open for business that will make meaningful impact to our development, as it should also benefit the investors.
Staying atop the Global African Hydrogen Summit currently underway in the capital, Minister of Mines and Energy Tom Malwindo emphasized that if green hydrogen is going to be a global commodity, both producers and consumers must agree on what the standards for green hydrogen should be, as opposed to different standards. He made the remarks earlier this morning after the European Commissioner for Energy, Kadri Simpson, revealed the European Union has set clear standards of what they regard as green hydrogen, which in turn gives visibility to investors. More from this insert.
The Commissioner was talking. She did say that the European Union has established the standards about what green hydrogen is and how it should look like, which is a great idea. But I also have said green hydrogen is really going to be a global commodity. And when I was talking about collaborations, I was saying we need to all agree on what are these standards. Otherwise, if we don't have that, you're going to end up having a European standard of what green hydrogen is, an African standards, or maybe an Asian standards. And therefore, I really hope that we will still engage each other and look at those standards and say, do we all agree that this should be the standard that we are going to be binding to all of us? So I would really just to say, let's engage each other and say, what are those standards? And because European countries might look at us more as a consuming country, maybe not as a producing countries. And we might look at it as the producing countries. And we might have different ideas of what it should look like. And therefore, I would then again just urge to say, let's get together, let's look at those standards and make sure that we all adopt them as these standards globally. That's just a remark I thought I would say.
Short comment from my side, and yes, we will have later today also bilateral meeting with Minister. As much as European industry needs green hydrogen, I think that the biggest reward that we can give across the globe to the green hydrogen producers is the level playing field that we will create for green goods. So there has been a lot of talk about carbon border adjustment mechanism, but this is designed to respect all the producers across the globe who will tackle their CO2 emissions and opt for green solutions. And that means that green hydrogen off-takers might not be only in Europe, but they might be also here, and they will be rewarded by us by allowing them access to our very attractive market on the same level playing field as European producers do have.
Turning our attention to the Oshkoto region, where police are seeking the public's assistance in tracing 6 of the 11 suspects who escaped from the Omuthia police station holding cells in the early hours of Saturday. Josephina Simeon brings you this report.
The Namibian Police Force Chief Inspector of Community Affairs for Oshkoto, Ellen Nehale Kangulu, said the incident occurred just after 4 a.m. on Saturday. The suspects used a metal object to break through the wall of a cell before they escaped. Nehale Kangulu said 5 suspects were rearrested and a case of escaping from lawful custody and malicious damage to government property was opened against all 11 suspects. The Chief Inspector further said the damage to the wall was discovered during an inspection of the building by officers who had started the morning shift at 6 a.m. The suspects were being held for various crimes including theft, housebreaking with intent to steal and theft, rape, fraud, bribery, organized crimes, assault of police officers, escaping from lawful custody and possession of drugs. Police investigation into the matter continues.
Traversing borders to Southeast Asia. Namibia and Indonesia have explored various areas of bilateral cooperation for mutual benefit. Now, speaking to Primetime News at the 2nd Indonesia-Africa Forum in Bali, Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Jenny Matundu, noted the areas of cooperation include renewable energy, food security, agriculture, livestock, pharmaceuticals, and infrastructure development. Let's listen in.
The forum itself, it's more on Africa, Indonesia. It is Indonesia-Africa cooperation, of which in it there's a developmental cooperation. So we have to also touch on road infrastructures, of which they say they will see the methods or mechanism of financing that through finding out from their Minister of Works and Transport, which I agree that you cannot just either put something on table and then you just accept to say, no, yeah, I will do it or so. But through finding out whether we can do this or whether we can assist or we can cooperate in this field is possible. That was basically it, that the 2 countries is yet to, the first session of the Joint Permanent Commission was held, was hosted by Indonesia. So the second leg now, it has to be the Namibian side.
Stay tuned for your top roundup with the business segment thereafter. This is the Primetime Business segment, the slot delivering all things business and economics. The Bank of Namibia earlier today announced that as of 30th September 2024, the determination on the conduct of electronic fund transfers or EFTs within the national payment system and the directive on the speed and user fees and charges of common monetary area transactions will come into force. Now, these regulations aim to ensure that all domestic EFT transactions are processed within Namibia, while cross-border transactions between Namibia and other common monetary area countries, particularly South Africa, are treated as international transactions. Debit order deductions to and from South Africa will no longer be possible, and customers are advised to arrange alternative payment methods. Other alternate payment methods include making direct payments, stock orders, or scheduled payments. Furthermore, the central bank announced that Namibians intending to electronically transfer less than 1 million Namibian dollars to South Africa will be charged 20 Namibian dollars. Those intending to transfer between 1 million and 5 million Namibian dollars will incur or attract 30 Namibian dollars in bank charges. The Bank of Namibia encourages all stakeholders to prepare for these changes and engage with their banking institutions for further information. Now, Namibian company Future Image Investment CC has signed a business agreement worth 9 million Namibian dollars that will see Indonesian products enter the Namibian market. The agreement with the Indonesian pharmaceutical company Mensa Group was signed in Bali, Indonesia on Tuesday during the Indonesia-Africa Forum. Linnea Dishena compiled this report.
Indonesia has been known for the good quality and the consistency of their quality. And then due to the fact that this company is a renowned company in Indonesia in terms of pharmaceutical and what they produce, and they have been proving themselves in all African nations, whereby it's more adaptable to African nations. That is why they have been picked as a partner.
And what does this business venture that is coming to Namibia, what does it mean in terms of socio-economic aspects?
It will make life more comfortable for all the individual, based from the low-earning citizen to the high-earning citizen, because of the convenience of the product and the potency and the quality of it. In the sense like now, Namibia alone will not be a beneficiary to this product, but all the other neighboring countries which are landlocked, which are Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and DRC Congo, and all other nations that are landlocked, and the one that even Angola. So they will be able to reach, and Namibia will be like a gateway to the other nation as well. It will not be beneficiary to Namibia alone.
Now, let's check in with the Meteorological Service for tomorrow's countrywide weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sport in action. We kickstart the segment with news from the Paris 2024 Paralympics Games in France, where Namibian sprinters Chris Kinder and his guide Kelvin Gorgasab, as well as Ananias Chikongo and his guide Erwin Chiuyu, have qualified for the semi-finals of the men's T1100 meter race at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games after impressive performances. Now on day 6 of the track and field events, the Namibian athletes participated in the morning sessions of the Paralympic Games in Paris. Kinder, the 2024 World Parathletics Championships champion, and the 400 meter and the 400 meter Paralympic Games, as well as silver medalist Chikongo, competed in the T1100 meter heats. Kinder and Gorgasab finished second in Heat 2, behind 2020 Paralympic Games gold medalist and the 100 meters and world record holder Athanasios Givalis of Greece and his guide Ioannis Niavtopoulos, who ran a seasonal best of 11.16 seconds in Heat 2. Namibia's 2016 Paralympic Games gold medalist Chikongo and his guide Chiuyu won Heat 5 with a seasonal best of 11.39 seconds to qualify for the next round of the championships. Meanwhile, Paralympic sprinter Petrus Karuli on Tuesday missed out on his spot in the final of the men's T37 400 meter race after being disqualified for line infringement at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. On day 5 of the athletics events, Karuli, who's making his debut at the Paralympic Games, competed in his second event at the championships. The Namibian athlete made his maiden appearance in the 100 meter sprints on the first day of the track and field events on Friday last week at the Stade de France in Paris, and did not advance out of the 100 meter heats. On Tuesday morning, he struggled in the 400 meter heats, finishing last in Heat 2, for which he was disqualified for a lane infringement. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This concludes tonight's edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for tuning in. A reminder to follow the on-screen prompts and subscribe to the Nampa TV platform to stay updated on developments shaping the global village. On behalf of myself, Michael Medimba, and the crew behind the scenes, tomorrow it's good night.